Disclaimer: this video will showcase characters I made in the game Code Vein, and I do not own any rights to the game, and I am simply showcasing characters I made in the game. Please enjoy, don't take anything too seriously, and thanks for watching. Code Vein Character Showcase by Wolfdog107. So hello everyone, this is Wolfdog107 here, and today I am bringing you a video that I decided to put up recently that I wanted to work on, and it's the character showcase for Code Vein. And what I mean by that is showcasing different characters I've made. And so we will be going through each character I've made in the game throughout each slot, and then I'll also be doing a character wardrobe series for Code Vein, where I will go over different outfits and such that I've done for each of the save slots I've made for specific characters I decided to play as in the game. Now, for this character, I had a lot of fun making it, all of them in general, but I like the different options I was given within the game, and even more so to this day, they get even better when you come up with more ideas. And you can do some wild stuff with them, and I think all of them turned out great. I like the different color palettes I chose for each of them. Usually I just like to have two primary colors and not really have to worry about secondary or thirdary color too much. But sometimes I do it in case like the two colors don't really stick too well together and they don't like keep things consistent or different enough, and so then I will add another color or so. And so that's what I did with some of these characters. Maybe not all of them, but a lot of them I did. And I think each character did pretty good in terms of coming out pretty nice looking. And I really enjoyed the character creation system in general for this game. And for this character, I really like how I pretty much had the thought like black and pink, because those two colors and whatnot go pretty well together. And so, you know what, let's get a black and pink kind of character with like a pink eyes a little bit and like blue in there and whatnot. I thought it would look pretty cool. And then for this character, what I wanted like something different, because like there's a lot of male characters I can make, and I've made plenty of them in this game, and I wasn't sure what to do at first, but then I was like, you know what, I want to make a black male character, and I want to give him like a specific color scheme that would fit him, and I want to make him look badass. And so that's pretty much what I did here. I gave him the metallic gold kind of look, and I gave him some red accents for like his face, his hair, and then like the little face paint options I put in. Well, and then I put some extra stuff in there as well, and I think it turned out great. For this one, I wasn't too sure yet, because at this point I was still new to character creation still, in a way. But I wasn't sure what options I would go with. And keep in mind, some of these characters that you're seeing were made in the Code Vein demo. So if there were some options that are now in the game but weren't on whatever character during their showcase, is because some of these characters were showcased were made during the demo of the game before the actual game came out. But yeah, so for some of these characters I wasn't sure what to do, because there was so many options I couldn't even think of anything that much until down the road. But for this one, I guess it kind of gave me that like kind of vibe, like a specific kind of vibe, like someone who goes through like different sandy environments, and I don't know, I guess the thought of like a desert wanderer or whatever kind of came to my mind, I guess, for this character. I'm not sure why or how, but it just did, and so I decided just to make this character right here. I think she turned out pretty well, and yeah. Now for this character, I wanted it to be a little bit like the other character you saw, the black guy with like the gold and red. I wanted this character to be the female equivalent of that. And so I did pretty much the same thing, except I reversed the colors a little bit for what options they were given. And so basically I reversed the color options for the hair a little bit. I did it for the outfit, the face options, and stuff like that. So pretty much the female equivalent of the red and gold kind of scheme that I had going on for the other character. And I really like how the outfits in this game were made. They all look well detailed, maybe a little over detailed for some, but not all of them. A lot of them look pretty damn good in this game. And when you make a character, you actually feel like you get to make your own character. As I've said in my recent stream of the game, I really enjoyed this game a lot, especially the character creation system, because this is by far one of the best of the best. In terms of like console games, of course. In terms of anime games I've played, it's a pretty damn good character creation system. Now this character, I wanted like a military vibe going on, but I didn't really have much in thought. I just thought, you know what, let's go military vibe, and I wanted like something blue and military, and so I went with that, and this is the result for that kind of character. And I think it turned out pretty well, although I feel like this outfit could have had more like accessories and whatnot for the shirt, maybe like a better design for the shirt for the outfit. I feel like they could have done something for that, but in general I think I chose a good outfit for him. And I just didn't feel like choosing the actual military outfit style, the actual military style outfit in the game for him. But for this character, I wanted something to be like, the colors I went off of for this character were black and green. Well, technically black is the shade, but yeah. But yeah, I went with black and green, and then I also gave him like brownish blonde hair or whatever. And so the two colors I went off of were black and green, and I wasn't sure like what else I would do. So I'm pretty sure I just stick with black and green. I couldn't really think of much for this character. Besides, he'd be like a military type character. He'd be a little young looking, and I'd give him an eye patch. Usually when it comes to military type characters in video games that I make, I like to give them eye patches, because it just makes them look more of a soldier. It just makes them look like more of a soldier. And so that's what I did for that character. This character I made recently, like a few days ago or whatever, and I like how she turned out. I think she turned out pretty damn well. I decided to give her a ponytail, and I think it turned out well, and I gave her like a specific hairstyle that's usually just flat and going from the back to the front a little bit. And so then I gave her the ponytail, and then I gave her a little front piece for the hair. And I gave her like that little accessory on the back of her head, and I also gave her the color scheme of black and blue. I don't know why, but I just really like the color schemes where it's black and then like a specific color. I don't know, I just like those color schemes a lot for some reason. But yeah, this character I think turned out pretty well, and I think it was a good idea to add like the feather on her head a little bit. I just thought I'd add that piece to give him more flair. And now this character is basically the male variant of the female version I made of this kind of character. I gave him pretty much the same options, except I did change some things a little bit. I don't really remember, but we'll see when I get to that the other variant of it. But I think it turned out well. I like the hat option that I put, and I think the red with the purple and the pattern color that I put, I think it all works very well, as well as his eyes go well with the outfit in general, I feel. And then in general, I think this outfit turned out pretty damn good, and I think it's pretty good outfit. And yeah, I think I think in general this character creation system allowed me to make some really cool characters. Despite being limited in some areas, it's not too limited. There's plenty of options no matter what, and there's like some really cool stuff that they put for the character creation system, and I really enjoy it. And honestly, I really enjoy making characters in this game. And this one I think turned out pretty damn good. And the reason being is because I wanted like a wizard type character, I guess. I was trying to go for something Halloween themed, and so that's pretty much what I came up with. And I gave him the black and green kind of style, but instead of just the regular black color, I gave him the black skeleton and pumpkin pattern for the outfit. And I also put black and white for his pants for the outfit. And I also gave him like a little pouch on the back and some accessories and whatnot. And I think this character turned out pretty well for the color scheme in general. The green mixes well with the black and the white. It looks pretty unique, I'd say. And yeah, I'm really glad with how it turned out. And if I don't say much for these characters, it's because I just can't really think of too much on the top of my head, and well, you guys are pretty much looking at it, so I don't really need to say much. But I will say that I had fun creating these characters. And while I did so, I would listen to YouTube videos, and some of them I even made on stream. And know that these are characters that I made, and you guys are welcome to make them if you want, but just know that these are characters that I made and came up with, but I don't really mind if you guys want to make the same character. But yeah, these are characters that I made, and I'm pretty proud of how they each turned out. Some of them I just made pretty simple because I just couldn't come up with much. But for this one, I think it turned out pretty well. I gave him the black and purple bat pattern along with green, and so I think it added more flair to it and more personality instead of just having black and green only. I think it turned out well because it has the bat pattern on it. And I also gave him like some different face options. I gave him the hat, stuff like that. And yeah, I think it turned out pretty good. Pretty damn good. But yeah. So these characters in general, I'm glad with how they turned out. Because this character creation system turned out really damn good. And this character right here, I wanted to go with something like with red and black, spooky, and also kind of like a horror kind of vibe to it, like a vampire kind of, but not too much like a vampire. But well, you can see how that turned out. But yeah, I think she turned out pretty well. I wanted to give her that horror kind of look, but like horror as in she's gonna kill you kind of look if you mess with her. And so that's what I based it off of. And I wanted to give her like some extra, and so I gave her like the little skeleton that's on her chest or whatever. I gave her the little skeleton guy or whatever on her chest as something a little extra, just to put it there so that it'd give her a little more flair, just a little. But yeah, I think she turned out pretty good, and I like the design a lot. And now we have I wasn't sure what to go with for this one. I wanted something with red, and so I was having a little trouble thinking of something, but I just ended up coming up with this. This one I wanted to go with something random at this point. And so I thought, you know what, let's just go with the flow and see how it turns out. And so I think he turned out pretty good. And overall, I think the design is at least decent. Now, the thing is, I wish there was a lot more outfits in the game. I wish there was. Because honestly, there's only 8 outfits in the game. One of them being one that they added after the game launched, which is the bath towel. So basically, there's technically only 7 outfits because the bath towel is basically only a bath towel, and it only has one color option. So that's why a lot of these characters have the same outfit. And so here we have my main character that I play as in the game for my main profile, Major Thorn, who I named. And yeah, I think her first design that I came up with was pretty good. I want her character to be I wanted her character to be a demon kind of character, like part demon, part human kind of character. And so she has to live a life trying to decide between the two sometimes. And yeah, I wanted that kind of background for her. And so I based it off of that. And then I went with a gold color scheme at first, but later on I then decided to use blues and reds instead of golds and reds, because I felt like it would fit a little bit more, and so that's what ended up happening. And so then later on, when I actually played through the game, I decided to make more outfit changes and whatnot to the character on the save file itself. And yeah, and I think they each turned out pretty good. Now for this character, I really wanted that Winter Soldier kind of vibe going, and so that's what I did for this character. I made her like a Winter Soldier, and so I gave her the blue and white hair. It looks fantastic, by the way. I'm glad with how it turned out. And I think the blue buckles and straps and whatnot look great on the outfit, for her especially, because of the theme that I have going with it. And then also the color pattern they have for the gloves and the outfit in general. They all look pretty damn good together. And yeah, I think it all turned out pretty damn good. Especially the boots here, I love how they turned out. And yeah. And so now we have pretty much one of the simple characters I made. And this one I couldn't think of much. In general, I think it turned out okay. I just couldn't come up with much, because this is one of the first characters I made. And when it came to creating characters in this game, I went from side to side instead of going up and down for the character slots. And so this character is basically one that I just couldn't come up with much for. But I wanted the color scheme to at least be black, pink, and green, because I like that kind of color scheme a lot, so that's what I went with. And so I think it turned out pretty well. Well, gee, I mean, But yeah, I think she turned out pretty decently, and yeah, I just couldn't come up with much at the time. But yeah, I think each character stands out pretty well in their own right, because I try to give each of them like their own unique flair, so that they would at least stand out in some sort of way. And so that's what I did for a lot of these characters. And for this one, I wanted to give her like black and green hair, and I wanted her to be like, when it comes to this character, I just call her Roxy, because that's the one thing that I was thinking of when I thought of making this character. I thought of, you know what, let's go ahead and try to make a character named Roxy. And so I thought of like the checkered shirt with the pink and black, and then I thought of the green, because, well, you know, green goes well with pink. And so that's what I came up with for Roxy. And so here we have another character that I made like maybe a few weeks ago, I think, I don't remember. But yeah, I think this character in general turned out pretty well. I love how the blue hair turned out mixed with the red and blue Santa hat. And then I added the green and red, as well as the blue and red candy cane with the white. And then the rest of it's all mostly red. But I wanted to at least add some other colors, and I can see where the blue would seem to be at an odd place for that last character, but in general I think it turned out pretty well. Now for this character, I think I enjoyed making this character. I think the face paint options I was given, and well, the ones I went with, they turned out pretty good. So yeah, I think in general the characters turned out pretty well, and I really had a good time creating them each. It's just that some of them I didn't really do too much with because I couldn't come up with much at the time. But I think this one in general turned out pretty good, and I like the different options I put for her. And now this character, I wanted to be like similar to the other one that has this same kind of style, the Halloween kind of character and whatnot. And yeah, I think she turned out pretty well, and I wanted to give her like roses for her hat, multiple of them, so that it would give off some more of that kind of vibe. And so I went with the black and purple. Looks pretty damn good, if I do say so myself. And so I think this outfit in general turned out pretty nice, and I like the pattern for it, for her coat in general. I think it looks pretty damn good. And yeah, I really like how this character turned out a lot, and I'm glad that I made this one. And in general, both this character and the other one turned out pretty damn good. And now this character, I I wanted something cute and also like Christmassy, so I just gave her some Christmas hat. Well, I gave her a Santa hat, some snowballs as earrings, and I gave her a little snowman on her left shoulder. And um, I gave her a greenish blue kind of color scheme with the white, and then I put the red and the color and whatnot on the candy cane, and it looks pretty damn good. I think she turned out pretty good, and she looks a little cute, and yeah, I think it turned out pretty well, and I'm glad with how it turned out. This one I made recently, and I wasn't sure what to go with, but I was like, you know what, let's try with something with cat ears. And so that's what I did. I went with a character that had cat ears. And I was like, huh, cat ears. Isn't too much go. It wasn't too much to go off of, but that's what I went with. And I wanted to go with red and blue, At the end, I just decided, you know what, I can't really think much for the color scheme, so I'll just go with the basic one. And that turned out to be red and blue. And then I put some white as well. I didn't want it to just be red and blue. But this character is one that I just made the other day. And I think it turned out pretty damn good. And I love the color scheme that I put with him. I could have done something else for the color scheme, like red with a different kind of pattern maybe or something. But I was like, I think I like this one. And so I went with the red and black, and I tried going with something cool looking for his face. Like I wanted to give him like the general kind of like my face is fucked up, but I still look handsome kind of look. I wanted to do something like that for his face, and so that's what I did. And I gave him an eye patch. And then here is Joker from Persona 5. I tried doing the Phantom Thief version, but in this game you can't really do much in terms of creating the Joker's Phantom Thief outfit, because the mask part is difficult to do because you're limited on options. And so I did as much as I could, but I couldn't really get it because the options are limited, and I tried doing it, but there's too many limitation slots. Yeah, there just wasn't enough makeup slots for the face paint stuff, and so that's why his mask didn't turn out too great. But I got the gloves and I got the outfit, and yeah. And that's what Joker ended up being. I think he turned out okay, but I'm a little disappointed with the face paint options because I was limited on how many slots I had for that. And now we have the next character that I had made. This one, I think she turned out pretty well. I wanted to go with something with black, blue, and blonde, and so I gave her that blonde hair with black hair as well. And so that's what I did for her hair. And then like I wanted to go with like a kind of like tan kind of skin tone, and so I gave her a tan skin tone, and I decided to go with, for the color scheme, I wanted to go with the blue and white, and so that's what I did. And it wasn't much in the end, but I don't know, I just really enjoy making characters. And that's why some of them don't really look too crazy and they just look pretty simple. It's because I just like making characters in general, because I like to check up on the different options out there. Now here we have the Code Vein equivalent of Santa Claus. Basically, you get a red and green, you get some white with like the Christmas hat, of course. You get the little snowman on his left shoulder. You get the beard, the candy cane on his chest. And yeah, I think he turned out pretty well. And I gave him blonde hair with green highlights. And then I gave him like green and black eyes or whatever. And then he has a candy cane on his back, on the waist. And in general, I think this character turned out pretty well, and I like it a lot. And I'm interested to see what you guys think about the characters I've made in this game. And I want to know your guys' thoughts. So leave down in the comments below whether you like the characters I made or not, and if so, which character you liked that I made the most. And yeah, I think they each turned out pretty well. And I'm glad with how this one turned out especially. I like the color scheme, I love the theme in general, and I think this one turned out pretty well in terms of how I went about it and what the final result was. And so yeah, I really enjoyed this character. Well, making the character, I mean. Now this guy I loved making because, man, I wanted to go crazy. And so I went with black and blue hair, and I wanted to find the right outfit. And so this outfit ended up being the correct outfit that I wanted. Well, the right outfit that I wanted. And it has a cool shirt design. The pants look badass. And so I went with those options. I gave him black and blue for the color scheme. I put some red in there as well to spice things up a little. And I think he turned out pretty damn good. I like the shoes, they look pretty damn cool. And in general, his shirt looks cool. And now we get to the one of my bearded characters. Well, beards in this game are technically face paint options because apparently they don't have actual facial hair options in this game, which kind of suck. But it is what it is. But yeah, I think this character turned out pretty damn well. So for this character, I wasn't sure what to go with, but I wanted to give him facial hair. It's just that this game doesn't have facial hair options, so I had to use the makeup option that makes him look like he has facial hair. And so that's what I did. And it looks pretty damn good the way it turned out. I wanted to give him I wanted to give him some chin facial hair and then some sideburns. And so that's what I did. And now this character I did the same thing. A little bit. I gave him facial hair but only on the chin. Well, yeah, I gave him a goatee basically. Yeah, I think it turned out pretty good. In general, I think this character in general looks pretty interesting by how things turned out. And yeah, I'm really glad with the color scheme that I chose, the white, red, and black that I put together. And yeah, I think it looks pretty damn good. This one, pretty sure I have as one of my save files, but I don't remember. But this one, I think I had fun making. I wanted to get the hair just right, and so that's why I did. And I wanted to make sure I'd get it right because I wanted to I wanted to give her a hat with patches on it, and so that's what I did. Well, a hat with buttons on it, and it looks pretty good. I think she looks pretty good in the outfit, and I think I gave her a good hat, and as well as buttons and whatnot. And in general, I love the color scheme that I put for the outfit. It turned out really great, and I'm proud of it. And yeah, I think in general, this character was pretty damn good, and I'm glad to have made it. Now this character is the one female variant I was talking about before that looks like the other character, the male variant that has the same eyes and whatnot. And so they both have the same kind of options, and I wanted them to be the same because they're supposed to be the same kind of character, they just have different genders. That's what I wanted. And so I did male and female variant of this character. Originally female, and then I was like, you know what, let's make another variant. And so that's what I did. I made a female variant, and then later on down the road I made a male variant. And I think they turned out pretty well, especially the female one. Although the color scheme is a little bit darker in terms of the reds and purples. But I don't know, I think they turned out pretty damn good. And I love the color palettes that you can do in this game for each of the characters, and yeah, I think they all turned out pretty well. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This was my first ever character showcase for any video game out there with character creation system. Hope you enjoyed. Please watch some of my reviews, and yeah, peace out, Wolfdog out.